Hello, good morning. Welcome in to another episode of Good Morning Nasdaq right here on the Clover Trading YouTube channel. It is the third day of October, year of our Lord 2025. It's a nice looking day out there. Fall weather starting to kick in. I don't know where you guys live, but I'm sure it's the same because that's just how it is. 8:57 in the morning. We got Mark in here, Mash for Fun, Ko-Fi Classic, Philly, Warren, Jabril, Wayne, Rat, Throne. Good morning, good morning. How are we doing out there? How are we doing out there? It is Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. We have wrapped up September. We have started October. We're on the third day of October. We got some hunts in this week as well. So getting back out into the woods, that's exciting stuff. To all my hunters out there entering the fall, best time of the year. Huddie will be joining us shortly, I believe. He said he'll be a little bit late, so we will wait for him. But we don't have a ton on watch today. If you're new around here, we do talk about the biggest gappers in small cap land. We go over a little bit about why they're up, if there's any correlation to any recent news that we've seen or any hot sectors or themes. Talk a little bit about dilution and if there's anything that could cause it to struggle to run higher or even give you some sort of edge in taking it lower. And just kind of walk you through the daily chart, see what we see when we pull up these charts for the first time, how we analyze these charts, and maybe let you into a little bit about how our mind reads this price action in these daily charts to help you out a bit. We'll never be like, hey, you should short this or hey, you should long this. Sometimes we are very conflicted. A lot of my career, well, all of my career, I don't really ever trade day one gappers, like 99% of the time, long or short. So when I look at them, it's more from about a non-biased perspective of trying to see what I could see happening that day. And really all I'm trying to do is put these stocks on a watch and be patient for any big picture daily chart setups. But I do know that a lot of you out there are gap and crop shorters, gap and go buyers. Sometimes there are some big daily levels that matter about where we're gapping into. So we talk about that as well. And we'll do so again today with the one gapper that we have. We'll probably get into it here in a second, right before Huddie comes on. So we won't have our in-house specialist just yet. A lot of people talking about, Jabril still saying that why are the futures green again today? Is the overall market gapping up? It is just slightly. You're asking the wrong person. Why is the market up? Why are the futures green? I don't put too much stock into that because it doesn't affect the way I trade. If there is, patterns that are there that fit my criteria, whether it be reversals, first green days, breakouts, first red days. I'm really looking for stocks to become extended or overextended and looking to tag team that momentum and find a move higher or find a move lower. And unless we're down like 1% or 2% in the markets, or some big news is coming out like FOMC or a big event, I don't pay too much attention to the overall markets just because doesn't really affect what we do. I know 3 out of 4 stocks follow the market and a rising tide lifts all boats, and whatever the opposite of that is probably true. I will see that because patterns will either stop me out or not set up, and that's all I really focus on. How are you guys doing? Wayne starting the weekend early. Market looks boring today. Yeah, I don't see too much out there from Gapper's perspective. I got a couple stocks on watch. Yesterday was kind of an interesting morning. We did a live webinar at 9:15 a.m. with the 4-leaf clovers, and there was a lot of buttons pushed. We had, a ton of stocks that were breaking out or gapping right into breakout levels. We had BENF. We had DVLT, which ended up being a breakout but not really going anywhere. There was one more, TLLY, broke out and then completely failed. And then we had the one shining star, which was DFLI, which is a lot higher this morning, up 40%. On a gap up back into the 70s, breakout over 80 cent area. One that I've been talking about for the past week, of what I wanted to see. Once we kind of didn't do the stutter step down here before breaking over the big daily chart level, I wanted to see it come back, consolidate, and then break these recent highs. We got that. We got a nice move into one, whether that was enough for you. If you're in from the 70s or 80s, if you held a little bit into after hours or into this morning, you got 130s, 140s, 150s, 160s, which is not something you see every day on a lot of these breakouts, but definitely potential and a nice reminder. Good volume, good daily chart, not a ton of overhead resistance, and technically in a decent sector. I know they do make some lithium batteries, and you see a gap up this morning. You see a gap up in after hours, so congrats to all longs there. But going into this morning, not as much on watch. I encourage you 4-leaf clovers to go rewatch that webinar because we did talk about a lot of the setups, and it's a good understanding of how it's hard to predict which ones are going to be perfect, which ones are going to work. You just got to take the setups that fit criteria and let it play out. Only 22 likes so far. Let's get that number up at least into the 30s. Make us feel good here. Not a ton of viewers this morning, 84. So if you want to go ahead and share that with a friend or a family member who's interested in trading, we're here every day. The market is open. And yeah, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We post long form content all the time as well. And like I said, we're live every day. So if you just want to come hang out with us, if you think we're fun, if you think we have good attitudes, consider subscribing, consider joining every day, and come hang out with us. Huddie, is that you?
It is me.
What are you doing? Where's your face?
Well, I'm on my phone right now.
Where's your face?
I can bring it in. I can bring it in.
Where is your face?
You miss me?
You can't show up late and faceless. You can do one, but not both.
Hang on. What am I showing? What's here? How's everyone doing on this fine Friday evening? Is it evening? Morning?
It's morning. Where are you?
At my house.
Then it's pretty morningy.
Pretty morningy. I agree. All right.
A lot of arguments going on in the chat. Hey guys, let's just be nice to each other. Let's love one another.
What are we arguing about? I love it.
I don't know. I can't find out where it started, but let's just be happy. I think someone said the market was slow, and then we all started hating each other. Let's find love. Let's spread positivity and love.
Sorry.
Uh-oh. There you are. All right. We got one gapper today, and I'm sure we'll have some potentially differing opinions on it, which is my favorite thing to do with Huddie is argue. So let's talk about it. ASNS is your biggest gapper of the day. It is Actelis Networks, another cheapie. I've been saying this, and I'm feeling like it's happening. There's a cheapie revolution happening right now. There's a lot of cheapies moving. Communication equipment company, a 16 million float. Let's just read a little bit about their, see if there's any buzzwords in there. High density Ethernet devices. I didn't know there was low density Ethernet devices. 2 days ago, they received a significant order for a major southern. Why did I just miss out? Major southern European carrier. Okay, so there's news 2 days ago, and it certainly has done increased volume the past 2 days, and we're gapping up today. Do you see anything else that would pop it up this morning, or is it just kind of volume, pump?
Oh my God. I just sat down.
What?
Why are we disagreeing? Why did you say we're going to disagree about this?
We'll just see.
What are your thoughts that we could possibly disagree on?
We're not there yet. I just need to know if my in-house specialist has any information on dilution, the news.
Hang on. He probably has something.
They got 5 months of cash left on a quarterly burn of 1.6 mil. I see some Series A4 warrants from July at 62 cents, which is below where we're at. Too many big words there, though. A little bit of volume. They just don't. There's not a ton of volume on the dilution that I see versus the 120 mil it's done already today.
It's Kidney Week, October 24th to the 27th.
For them?
No, just in general. For last year, I guess.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you do.
Thanks for spreading the awareness.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 30-cent stock. Like, it's dilutive. What do you want me to know? What do you want to know?
Specifics, general specifics.
Okay. They have a shelf they can raise from. They have an ATM that they can dilute with. 2 ATMs that they can dilute with.
Just the value of all
Warrants.
that's not very big, right?
Warrants at 37 cents. Warrants in the 60s as well. The 37 cents warrants might come into play. 6
Okay.
million of those guys.
Pretty good volume so far in this one, 120 million. There's a gap and crap day from early September, and I don't know if you probably wouldn't have, but it would have been about a 50% gap. Move into the 60s, complete and utter destruction once it opened. Never really went higher. 60s down to the 30s. And it's been sitting at these lows just around 40 cents for the past couple of weeks. Gapping up into that resistance right now, overhead behind us. There's really not a lot top left to bottom right. As time goes on, this stock goes lower. That's just a certainty with the way that this stock works. In 2024, you got some pretty big gaps and fails, a bunch of lower highs and more fading action. Not a stock that has really any history of green candles, where it generally tends to open or close below its open, regardless if it's a big gap or some sort of run. Can do pretty good volume today. Looks like it's going to be the biggest volume day on this daily chart, which is always interesting and fun as we kind of head into the weekend. Maybe the potential for some sort of gapper play. I said we were gonna disagree because I don't think this gap is very big. A minute ago it was up like 60-something%, 70-something%. And we saw BENF gap into resistance, not that big, and have a really nice day. And you have that 63-cent area. You got a multi-month potential breakout level. It's my least favorite style to trade. I almost always miss them because I feel like the hit rate's worse than multi-day breakouts. But the one thing you do have going for it is in play. It is gapping up. It does have a ton of volume. And those tend to have pretty good sized moves. Just actually going about trading them is quite difficult. But yeah, I guess we would argue, because I kind of see this as more of a potential long than a potential short. But again, unicorn hunting, not based off its history. What are your thoughts on Asinus?
I
Never
think
gonna
there's room
touch
to the
it.
downside here. Like ASBP, like kind of 40-cent area was not a lot of reward, but this kind of feels like it could go lower. Like either way, I'm not interested in playing it. You have a situation where it gapped up recently, failed horribly. Like, are there bag holders? Is it going to get sold into? Is that previous resistance going to become support? I actually have no idea. But I do think the odds favor failing.
They always favor failing. We can't trade like that or we wouldn't be longs. And you're a long.
Super long.
Yeah, I kind of see both perspectives. It'd be interesting to do some data on the gaps above the breakout level versus below. We saw this with DFLI last week. Kind of a different story. Kind of ran multiple days, but I think gapped right above the breakout level and then kind of pushed and then failed. But so far, holding above that 60, what's the exact level? 62.79 area. I'm not really quick to trade these. If I do think I like them on the long side, think there's room for this to move before we head into any serious resistance. I think if the volume is really, really massive, that the resistance from a couple weeks ago isn't going to be that impressive. You got some potential dilution that Huddie's talking about at lower prices. But for me, it's one of those things where I would check in on it 30 minutes into the day, hour into the day. I'm not going to short it. That's not what I do. So I'll kind of leave it to you guys right out of the gate. And then if there's like a clear base and it's starting to hold, kind of like BENF did around that, it took about an hour or two into the day before really starting to run midday after holding those 60-cent areas. It would kind of be based off of that type of idea. But again, it's probably like a 20% chance that I would trade something like this. But interesting looking gapper. We'll see what it does. History favors it failing and heading lower. Yeah, I guess if the opening print is your high day and we immediately fade from there, probably have a little bit of conviction on that side of the trade. But that is your biggest gapper of the day. Crazy, DFLI is actually the second biggest gapper now. So pretty weak gapper day across the board here. Like we said earlier, the overall market is right around break even on the day so far. Let's see what you guys are talking about. 50 likes already. Did I even ask for it? Appreciate that. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Stop being mean to each other. Do I need to say it again? El Jefe says DFLI is my favorite for today. I wonder what for. I'm guessing a potential like overextended gap up type of play. What was it even up yesterday percentage wise?
ASBP.
What? DFLI.
I remember that one.
Someone said it's their top watch today. I was just trying to see. So it's about 100% from yesterday's lows right now. So
What we watched that for?
I don't know. I think I saw it in Kyle's watch list. Like if it gaps up big enough. I don't know. Do you know what his threshold is? I gotta imagine it's 40 or 50% minimum.
I think he really has a threshold, but I don't think this is enough. They have like a forward-looking catalyst later this next week. I don't think it's quite sell the news just yet, and I don't know.
Gosh, I'm rooting for like a 250 plus move. Wouldn't that be nice to have a solid first red day?
I think it's possible. I don't know if we're gonna get it, but I think 250s. I think 2 is possible.
That'd be great. Looks great so far. Pretty good size gap.
I have kind of like a strict rule of not shorting today. It doesn't mean that I guess you can't, but I don't think this is the day to get frothy unless it was like $250, $3 right now.
Yeah, I like if it looks like a gapper on day 2 and we're getting that type of gap up. I feel like those have probably have pretty good stats. But right here in the no man, it could do a lot between 120 and 150 all day today.
I still have 10% of my position. We got to sell.
Look
I
at
can only
you.
do short.
Look at you,
dude. That's my new biggest long of the year.
Really, Diffley?
Yeah, because we slayed it.
It was the one I had the least amount of faith in.
Do you remember when I was like on the webinar? I was like, "All right, I'm gonna add at 80." Is everyone excited? I'm excited.
It ended up being really good, holding as support. You got kind of like a mid-afternoon, like early afternoon kind of speed up, and then it was kind of like gone, and there was really no way to add. It was just kind of sit, and then got up into my deer stand, and it's at 140. I said, that looks good. Sell.
Dude, I bought 106 as well.
You're a wild Guatemalan.
It's perfect. Why? That's the cutest looking chart I've seen in a long time.
I can't, no matter how much I study that setup or want to do it, I can't physically do it in the moment. I can't.
I just do it with smaller size. Like it's 10% of my like breakout position size, right? So it's like smaller, but it's like cherry on top type of. Like it's not going to hurt me. It's not going to make me, but it might add a little bit, which it is going to.
Do you eat the cherry on top of like a sundae, or do you put it to the side?
Is it red or black?
Red.
I eat the red one.
That sounds so good right now.
Maraschino.
Oh gosh, a nice little sweet cherry. You like kiwis?
I'll take a kiwi.
I love kiwis. Let's see. Wayne says Buru. Getting frisky. I don't trust it though. I saw that one yesterday. Nice gap up there. The cheapies, dude. I'm telling you. Cheapies are moving. I love when cheapies run. Yeah, nice move so far. Nothing.
They don't have good charts yet.
Yeah, nothing to be done here for me. It's already kind of started. It's ascent and climbing. Gosh, if that could go into the 40s, that would be a DFLI similar chart coming for next week. Or yeah. See, I'm always thinking out ahead. I don't need to trade it today. I don't need to trade it tomorrow for it to be worth it.
No, you know what might be good is like BTOG.
I saw that yesterday, but it looks like it's like now it looks more.
Put it on a watch. Let it be.
Someone asked about BQ. I saw this last night. We talked about it. I said no to it in the Clover room. It's not a reversal because it doesn't fit reversal criteria anymore because of the volume, and so it took it personal, and it opened and went straight from $9 to $24. It would have been And a liquid, you would have had to trade it during a liquid rush, but there was a little swizzle to be had at like noon from a move from 12 to the 20s. But yeah, I never saw that in our room. Kind of funny. Like it feels like once we took it off watch, it just was gone. But this is what I'm saying. When we kind of say reversals suck right now, they're not working. Didn't fit criteria perfectly, but they went on to double. So and break out. So I didn't trade it. I didn't take it. There was other stuff on watch that I liked more. Huddy, how was the meetup yesterday?
It was great. Good group of traders. I think the showing was like closer to like 75 people. Uh, Almost lost my voice talking to a lot of people just about trading and about their errors. You know what I realized? The biggest error is that people don't know what a pattern is. I'm like, I was asking people, I'm not making fun. I'm just like literally like, I want you guys to have perspective because I had to like teach a lot of people some lessons, which is good. I said, what's your pattern? They go, I like to go long. I go,
That's just a side of the trade.
yeah, that's an execution manner. Like that's not a pattern. What's your pattern? You know, I like to buy dips. What's the criteria?
Dipping.
It's dipping. I'm buying. What if it keeps dipping? I'm buying more. Really? So it's tough to like give education because it's like I don't even know where to begin. Sometimes I'm like, you're so lost, and I don't even know like you need a pattern. What are we doing without a pattern? We can't just like my new favorite thing to tell people is like they're talking a lot about feelings. Like, oh, I don't feel like I like that, or I don't feel like this. And I'm like, dude, feelings get you hurt, you know? Like, focus on the chart, focus on the pattern, focus on your trigger, focus on your exit. And like, I feel like that's like the biggest thing I kept saying to everyone last night. Like,
That's what we always
and,
say to everyone.
and it's just mind boggling. It's just mind boggling that like, I talk to people, I'm not going to name names, but like they've been trading for multiple years. I go, what's your pattern? They go, I'm trying to be long. Like, or someone asked me, they said, Huddy, what pattern are you best at? And I go, dude, it's not me. Like, get it out of your head that like the trader is good or bad. Like, what pattern is performing the best? That's a way better question to ask me than what am I best at? I click a button when a candle crosses another candle. It's not that I'm better than anyone else in the world at doing that exact sequence of events. I might be better at scanning. I might be better at identifying chart patterns. That part is like a simple IQ test, right? But what am I better at in terms of like a trader? Like I just click the button when it triggers. Like whether it's a breakout, a first red day, a gap in crap. Like there's no skill. I don't read level 2. I don't read tape. I don't read any of that stuff. Like so like what do you mean? What am I better at? You know, like it's which pattern is just performing better in this moment, I guess. And all my patterns perform well pretty much all year round. So
yeah, and as long as you're executing, you should reap the rewards of that P&L curve. I think people like just have it in their mind of what trading should look like. Like, I don't think they understand. Like you said yesterday, DFLI was one of your biggest long trades of the year. Like you guys, like he posted the chart in the room, but like it's legit a buy over like 75, an arrow over 80, which are two daily chart levels, and then it was the stock did all the work. All it did was trade all day. Cuddy didn't click any. Like I like some of my. I mean, look at Kyle's biggest trade, one of this year at Open. It's like one entry and like 2 sells. Like you don't need to be some like savant that's clicking buttons all day and maximizing and trading around a core. Like you can if you have that skill set, but if you're someone who's like, I just need to find a plan. Like it's the person that Huddy's talking about. Like just needs a foundation. You need one pattern, one plan, good habits, and you can make money. Like, because the stocks move. You don't need to do, you don't have to do any extra thinking at all. I think that bothers people because they think it's supposed to be harder than it is. And when they see how easy it is, it's not easy, it's simple. And it's like, it is something we deal with a lot with trading, with teaching, is just getting people to let go of all these preconceived notions about who you're supposed to be as a trader. Last question, BKKT. I know you were talking about it yesterday, so we'll close it out on that. Is this something you are watching for a first red day? I looked at it last night. I couldn't quite figure out a plan I want for it unless it goes way higher.
I think do the QM. I think the chart is rather extended and sped up to the upside, like no doubt. 4 green days, with a little bit of a hiccup in between. Like I think it's there. I also think D Pro's there. But I also know what you mean. Like, I kind of want them to, like, I feel like we haven't really had a blow off parabolic move, and the market is just so, like, every stock on my watch list is gapping up right now, right? So, like, I don't know if, like, the old attitude where you hear, like, three-fourths of all stocks kind of follow the overall market, and, like, if these dips are just going to be bought up and BKKT is going to be back at 50 before you know it and, like, going higher. Like, I think that's because these aren't, like, penny stocks, right? These aren't, like, this isn't like DFLI. This is, like, a real company, probably, I think, in the crypto space of some sort. Maybe it's a data center. I don't know what it is, but I think it is. DPro's a drone, you know, like DFLI is a drone. So there's just like momentum across the board, and I really want to make sure that these things are like kind of near their top, and I don't know if they are. That's the problem. So it might be a situation where if I try it today, I'm taking a loss and ready to reattack it in a couple days. Like if that's what I'm willing to do, then I'm willing to probably give something a try today.
Awesome. Here's a question, just because I don't know if the Henrik will ever ask again. If I want to hold a position over some days, is good till canceled or good till canceled plus best as when holding a position?
I think good till cancel plus is like after hours, right?
Does that mean your order, like a buy order? Because I don't think you could place seller, but you couldn't place a stop like that, right?
No, it wouldn't. Not a stop. It wouldn't work. I don't think it would let you even put the order in.
Yeah, I'd always go plus if you can. If you're trading stocks, I trade after hours. Always get that plus in there.
Yeah.
I just use routes that I think just work in all of them. But all right, 9:23. I got to get downstairs. Got to get into the office. Appreciate Heidi for coming in, even if it was just a little bit late this morning. Appreciate you guys and your questions. Remember, let's keep that chat civil over there. Let's be kind to one another. We are all, as much as we might be profitable traders, we also suck in our own ways as well. So let's be respectful to each other. Appreciate you guys with your good questions today. Appreciate the likes, 57. Appreciate the views. If you're around the rest of the day, go check out the rest of the videos on our channel. If you're new around here, make sure you are subscribed as well. And that notification bell is turned on because we're live every day the market is open. And you don't want to miss it because look at us. We're so much fun. Look at this. We're so fun. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful day. And I will get my monthly review out over the weekend as well for all the 4-leafs and black clovers. But appreciate you all. Appreciate Huddy. Have a wonderful day and God bless. Goodbye.